Like an egg timer had I known. Good grief. Anyway, Mike Mezak is here. You're here.
My first look at those.
Can you tell? See, Mike he curates these shows, and so there's
the samples fly around the universe,
yes,
you know.
They do.
And sometimes I get to see them, and particularly a coin like this. Sometimes I get to see them, and sometimes I don't.
Well, so tell me a little bit about this. So obviously, first and foremost, we're talking about gold. That's number one. Anytime we have gold here, I always have to sit up and take notice because we don't see it a lot from you. But there's a lot going on, huh?
This is a cool, really cool coin.
Okay.
Okay. The United States government's been making the gold silver eagle since 1986.
Okay.
Like a $5 coin, a $10 coin, a $25 coin, and a $50
Gotcha.
coin. They're going to make them next year. They're going to make them this year. They're going to continue to make them. Okay. They're doing a redesign in 2021, of course, just like that. But here's the deal. So this particular American $10 gold eagle, which has 1/4 of an ounce of pure gold in it, is special.
Okay.
As it turns out, as we get mintage figures at the end of the year, what we end up with here is the rarest $10 gold eagle ever made by the United States government in the American Gold Eagle series.
The rarest.
So of all the 35 American gold $10 eagles they have made in the American Silver Dollar series, this is the rarest.
Oh, wow.
This is the one. This is the king of those. As a matter of fact, I think it ends up being, as I recall, the second rarest gold eagle, period.
Oh, no kidding.
Whether it be 5s or 10s or 25s or 50s, the second rarest, period, that you're going to have, but the rarest 10.
Huh.
Now, here's the key to this. So you have the rarest 10, which is a big deal. You have like the second rarest, might be the third rarest. I'm trying to do all my things. This is how many I have.
Yeah.
This is all that exists. I bought all that exists. Here's the key.
Oh, Mike, just real quickly. Rick, is that 12 months VIP financing? It's on 12 months. It's $91 and change.
So
FlexPay.
I like that.
12 month. Okay, all right.
So now you have a coin that's incredibly special. Now I have to kind of let you into the world of coins. You have to get a little additional information. This little thing right up here, first day of issue. The entire population of this coin, it's the rarest coin, okay? But in first day of issue, I think there's 150 in existence. I have 100 of them.
Oh, wow.
Because by first day of issue, PCGS, their definition of first day of issue is they must have the coin the first day of issue.
Right.
Which was way over a year ago.
Wow.
And nobody knew. So, I mean, you know, someone got, and then it had to grade perfect. And when they did this, nobody knew it would be the rarest. The $10 eagle tends to be one of the least popular, because people go with the little coin, the $5 gold eagle. The most highly minted is the $5,
Gotcha.
followed by the $50 actually. Then the 25, and then the 10, and some years it's the 10, some years it's the 25. So that's the key to this. So now you have 1/4 of an ounce of pure gold in this. You have the rarity in the American Silver Eagle series that's absolutely stupefying. So, I mean, it makes it one of the rarest gold eagles ever made by the United States government. And you can go back for 100 years.
Sure.
You can go back to the stuff in the early part of the 20th century, and it's still rarer, significantly rarer than all of those coins. But the whole key to this is what we call the population, what we call population rarity. And what that means is first day of issue matters. First day of issue matters because it is a much tinier population of these. So of the 100 that you see there, that's 70% of all the coins that exist in first day of issue.
Wow.
Basically is ultimately what it comes down to. So you've got an incredibly tiny population, not only of the coin itself, the mintage. So the mintage is how many the government made. Then you have the conditional rarity of it being mint state 70. So now you have an even rarer coin, but then you have the release rarity or scarcity of the coin, which is first day of issues. First day of issues brings substantial, significant, ridiculous premiums in the marketplace, and this coin falls into all of that. And we got this special pricing at $1,099.95. Yeah, I don't believe that you can buy this really anywhere anywhere else in first day of issue.
Well, and you kind of,
when I buy them all, that's really usually what happens.
It is. And Mike really, well, I guess, forgive the pun, set the gold standard.
Yes. Well, we try.
Yeah, I mean, literally with first day of issue.
Right.
And he's
That's
right.
key.
Let alone the fact that you're getting 12 interest-free payments. If you have that HSN, that VIP card, you're looking at $91 and change. And even though we don't have a lot of these, this is not even what I would necessarily call a considered purchase, although at that price you might say it is. But when you consider first day of issue, the mintage, the rarity, the availability, the gold, check all those boxes.
Just be done.
Check them out.
Just be done.
Just be done.
Just be done.
Yes.
I mean, why not do that? And now the intrinsic value of gold, and gold's been on fire.
Yeah.
And then the rarity of this, like I said, I keep saying this over and over. It's not for everybody, but it is for everybody.
But it is.
But it is,
in a way.
because you have
Sure.
that intrinsic value of the gold. Now add in, the incredible rarity of the grade. Gold's very difficult to grade in high grade.
I bet.
Now add in, first day of issue takes this to an entirely new level. Okay, this is where you're starting to talk. That's the rare air of coin collecting.
Yes.
Is when you look at first day of issues of coins that end up, because when this went in there, and I didn't grade these, I bought these on the secondary market with this from PCGS. So when they graded these, they had no idea. They had no idea that this would be the rarest 10.
Because you don't know.
You just don't know. It's just been released. Who knows?
Right.
Because they make them throughout the year, but for whatever reason, they just didn't make any of these.
And they can decide whatever they want.
That's right. And they can
make
decide.
the rules.
They make the rules. It's
They
the
do.
government. Yeah. You know, you just do this. So very last call, we got tons of people.
We do. And we actually have more people in the various forms of ordering than we do have quantities left. So this is one. We will be calling this sold out as well. We've had a number of sellouts in this show. You guys are some smart shoppers, lots of new shoppers, so welcome. We will let you know when it's gone. We know that it will be gone.